and the Estevan Bruins and became the New Westminster Bruins and brought some Memorial Cups here, and the arena was packed with some very boisterous fans, and the New Westminster Royals of today are trying to emulate the great heritage that those other two teams brought to New Westminster.
Well, they're sure doing a good job. Got Harrington, gets the puck up to Walsh. Walsh coming up. Got George with him. Nice pass to George. George taken out of the play by Menard. It's kept in at the point by Angus. Angus lost it to George. It's picked up by Derry Menard. Just shoots it up the middle, up to Angus. Angus of the Royals. Shoots it up the middle, a little bit too far. Derry Menard with the puck again. Rink wide. You give it over to Proctor. Shoots it in the corner. Going off on a line change. Angus with the puck for the Ladner Penguins. Trying to set it up. Give it to Walsh. Coming up to center. Give it off to George. It's kept out in the neutral zone. Play is called for the late offside. They've got to come out and clear the zone. And they finally get the rule down pat. They come out and clear it. We've got Moore making a nice move at center. Coming. Puck off to Carpin. Carpin takes a shot wide of the goal. Broke his stick. It's out in the neutral zone. It's picked up by Wolf. Give it back over the middle. Up to Carpin. Carpin going in. Pass there, over to Jones, back out the middle, it's intercepted by Kerr. Kerr give it to George, back over to Kerr. Coming out in the neutral zone, give it up. It's got AJ Callum with him. Callum going in, taking his man out of the play, trying to get it out front. Kerr tried to pass it back out front to AJ Callum. And then it's back to George. George back to Safakidis, takes a shot. Deflected wide, I think it hit the referee. Everybody's still skating, so no harm done. Back over to Justin George. Justin George to Kerr. Got Caden coming out, fall the play by
that's Jeff Kerr, and Caden wasn't too happy with what happened. The referee hasn't signaled anything. Kerr is down on the ice in the corner. I don't know, he must have got hit by a stick or something, but the referee hasn't signaled anything, and I'm not sure. I didn't see exactly what happened. Caden came out to get the puck, and then the next thing you saw was Kerr going over top of him, and Kerr is not getting up. The trainer is in the corner, and he hasn't signaled any penalties as yet. You can see that over and trying to see if he can acquire a penalty.
I think they're trying to find the numbers of the players that were on the ice to serve a penalty.
At this point, everybody, of course, leaves quickly. But, Steve, you know, talking about the old New Westminster Royals, just as we look here, we've got the replay, and then we can pick it up. Now, the puck will come across in front. That's A.J. Callum. There's Kerr. He goes over, and I think what happens is he actually gets caught in the stomach with Caden's skate. When Caden went down, his leg was up in the air. I don't think it was intentional. Caden thought he was being roughed, and Kerr was actually, you know, not doing anything that he didn't mean to do, and they both were a little upset, but Kerr is still in the corner.
Kerr was just trying to work the puck free from him, that's all.
Here we go again. There you see Caden going down, and there you see Kerr coming over. Caden taking exception and giving him a shot, but Kerr had already been injured, and he's coming off the ice, not on his own steam, but at least he's standing up. The trainer is helping him. Hopefully he won't be hurt too badly.
Looks like he got it across the arm.
Yes, no, they have given a penalty, are giving a penalty. There goes Kerr down the tunnel to the dressing room. So, in fact, we Caden is going to get 2 minutes. This is coming from behind, and you watch. Now the puck comes out, A.J. Callum to Kerr. Now Caden goes over to get it, and that's when he takes the swipe at Kerr, but it wasn't the punch that got him. It was, I believe, the stick or the skate in the stomach.
Yeah, it looked like the skate. It looked like the toe of the skate just as they were in the process of getting up. Either way, he still got him. And the Ladner Penguins are on a power play. Walsh with the puck in the zone, tried to get it out front, just wide of the goal. Couldn't clear it out. Jamie Rene keeps it into the point. Over to Angus. Angus takes a shot. And it's stopped at the point by Colin Ward. Shoots it all the way out and down the ice. Colvin coming out and stops it. Still with the puck. Ward tried to intercept it. It couldn't. It's intercepted by Angus. Gives it back to Harrington. Takes a shot off the goal post. A little wide of the goal. Intercepted by Ward again. Ward tried to get it out. Harrington fighting for the puck. Ward trying to get a face-off. Lost it. Earn tried to get the puck. Couldn't. Menard shoots it all the way out and down the ice. Jamie Rene going back after it in the last minute of play in the first period. Rene comes out of his own zone. Give it off to Walsh. Walsh stops. Back over to Jamie Rene. It's intercepted. We've got Dwyer coming in. Takes a shot. Low shot. Good stop by Colvin to come out and stop that one. That was a giveaway pass.
He was a little lucky on that one. If we could have I don't know if we have it, but I'd like to comment on that. Derry and Donald Menard are back on defense on that shot that with the Ladner Penguins on the rush. And if you notice, Donald Menard went with Harrington, followed him right into the corner, didn't lose him. Derry Menard stayed with the guy in front. This is the giveaway, unfortunately, and but there you see the giveaway right out front. Colvin stands up, and he beats number 10, Don Dwyer. It was an excellent play by Colvin, but he went down a little quick, and if Dwyer had held on to the puck, he would have a little longer, he would have had a goal. But what I wanted to talk about was Derry and Donald Menard. They each took the man, left the man with the puck to the responsibility of Caden. Well played. Positional hockey at its best.
We've got Vermette with the puck coming out of his own zone. He give it off to Chuck Netta. Chuck Netta up the center. Give it to Parnetta. Parnetta lost the puck, up and out the center. We've got an offside pass call by the linesman.
We've got 15 seconds to go in the first period, and the Ladner Penguins are leading the New Westminster Royals by a score of 1-0. And as I said, we'll go over who is where in the standings so that you fans can catch up after your Christmas festivities, which we hope you enjoyed. We've given you the Coastal Division standings with the New Westminster Royals on top, followed by Nanaimo, then Powell River, and then Ladner, and with Richmond and Cowichan coming after that. We'll get to the Interior Division in just a moment.
For on the face-off, Walsh tried to get it loose, lost it to McDonald. McDonald stops in his own zone, shoots it out to center. Chuck Netta with the puck back in his own zone, stops. Give it off to Parnetta, shoots it all the way out down the ice. And we got a couple guys push at the end of the period, but no harm done. Cooler heads prevail. Ladner going off. The score after the first period of play: Ladner Penguins 1, New West Royals no score.
Well, Steve, Bill Harrington got an unassisted goal at 3:17 of that first period, and he was the only goal of that period. There were a couple of penalties, 3 of them to the New Westminster Royals, and the one is still being served here at the end of the first period, and 1 penalty to the Ladner Penguins, but a little sloppy compared to what we have seen previously from, in particular, the New Westminster Royals, but the Ladner Penguins have been impressive, at least as they charge the net a bit more aggressively than they have in the past.
That's right, Keith. The Ladner Penguins are forechecking a lot more than we've seen in the past. The Royals, it looks like, after talking to a couple players prior to the start of the game, the Royals, I guess you could say right now, they're trying to feel their own oats. They're just trying to get themselves working back in shape and get their passes to connect. And I think right now that was just a feeling out period for the New West Royals. I think we're going to have a good second and third periods by the Royals.
My understanding is that the Ladner Penguins practiced over the Christmas period, but John Oliver gave the New Westminster Royals the 2-week period off, so this is just about their first time on ice. So we've got an interview that you did just prior to the start of the game with Jamie Rennie, and we'll let the fans see what Mr. Rennie has to say about his season so far.
My special guest right now is Jamie Rennie, the stalwart on defense for the Ladner Penguins. Jamie, with the season you've had?
Yeah, not too bad. I've done a lot better than last year, and the team's playing not too bad, and things are going pretty good. Yeah.
Have you made any drastic, radical changes back there in your own performance, not necessarily the team's?
I think my skating's involved. Been doing pretty good. It's improved over the summer. I worked on that quite a bit. And getting to carry the puck a little bit more than last year, so it's helping me out, give me a lot more confidence.
I noticed they've changed you. One game we watched you play in Ladner, they put you up on the wing, playing up forward line. Was that a little bit a big change for you?
It wasn't too bad. I watched my brother over the years, so it hadn't been too bad, but they just wanted me up there to go up and down the wings and hit some bodies and stuff like that, or we got a little bit smaller forwards than the rest of the guys in the league. But I didn't mind it too much. Gave me some more time with the puck and whatnot.
I noticed they've made some changes back on the defense. Bringing in Vermette for one. They put Wild up on the forward line one game we watched.
Yeah.
Has it, do you feel it's helped the overall improvement of the team?
Oh, yeah, I think Bob was a great asset to the team so far. He's good with the puck, he can skate, and that's Bob Vermette. And putting Bob Wild back up on the forward, adding his size to the forward line, it's really helped out quite a bit.
Well, I know as both of them, they're not scared to throw their weight around as well as yourself. You're a North Delta product. You've been checked out from the Eastern Seaboard, I've been told.
Yeah, I've been talking to the University of Maine quite a bit, but nothing's for sure yet. But they're keeping in contact with me and whatnot, which gives me some confidence. But I just hope I can talk to a lot more schools and give me a little bit of a option to choose from.
And you're still living in North Delta?
Yeah, that's correct. I live at home. Yeah.
And with mom and dad still?
Yeah, with mom and dad, and just me and my sister. Steve's off, so.
Okay, so you've been satisfied. I know we've been quite pleased with the overall performance that you've had so far this year. You're big, you're muscular, and you're heavy, and you're physical as the daylights. So, all we can tell you is best of luck to you, and good luck for the rest of the season.
Welcome back to BC Junior Hockey League live from Queen's Park Arena. The New Westminster Royals taking on the Ladner Penguins, and the score after one period of play, the Ladner Penguins ahead of the New Westminster Royals by a score of 1-0. Steve, we have a bunch of the little guys out there in a shootout. Remember when they did the finals, the original six or whatever, they used to have the shootouts with all of these players, but these guys are going at it. And, the first period was a bit sloppy from what we've seen the New Westminster Royals play before up to Christmas time, but as you say, you felt that after the first period they'd feel their oats and get back on the groove.
Yeah, I do. I think the first period, there was a little bit of a feeling out period for the New West Royals. They look a little bit tired and a little ragged. They haven't been on ice since prior to the start of the Christmas break, and it shows.
Well, as we said, John Oliver gave them the 2 weeks off, and they deserved it after their outstanding first half of the season. There you see the scoring highlight. Bill Harrington scoring for the Ladner Penguins at 3:17 of the first period, unassisted. There were a number of opportunities, near misses. There was a disallowed goal, and I think we have that as a highlight coming up a little bit later. And you can see that the referee, again, was very quick and on the spot on that one, Steve. Quick with his call, decisive, so there was no question in the players' minds that the goal had been disallowed. I think we've got that highlight coming up right now, and you'll see this puck. You'll see the puck going into the corner, then shot back to the point to Mike Hawes, and Hawes shoots it over to Andrew Wolf. There it is coming back to Hawes. Now you'll shoot it over to Wolf, and Wolf sets it up in a good shot, and there you see David Earn sort of deflecting the puck, and the referee very quickly saying no goal. It was a high stick, therefore we're disallowing it. But again, very well done and quickly, so that it was known to all the players, and there wasn't any debate. Well, what are you calling it?
No, that's one thing I've noticed about the New West Royals is they try that deflection in from the point on several different occasions. And like you said, it was good positioning by the referee. It's funny because when David Earn turned around, ironically, he almost knocked the referee over because the referee was right directly behind him.
Well, the New Westminster Royals, Steve, if we've commented it before, they play very sound positional hockey, and they don't get running around, and they've got men coming to the front of that net, blocking out the goaltender. When they're on the defensive end of the ice, they're clearing out the front of the net very, very quickly so that the goaltender can see the shooter and can make that one save. We've got the injury to Kerr as a replay here to see if we can see, in fact, what happened to him. And you'll see the puck being brought over from the point, and there you see Caden going down and Kerr coming over top of him. And Caden, I think, felt he did it intentionally, and Kerr was just trying to reach in for the puck. And as we said earlier, it appeared that he got caught by the skate of Caden in the stomach. And hopefully Kerr will be back before the end of the game. But 1-0 lead for the Ladner Penguins. They need the points very badly. They're only 3 points ahead of the Richmond Sockeyes going into the second portion of the season.
They're a struggling club, but right now they've made a lot of changes. They're an improved club from what we've seen in the past. They're very aggressive. They forecheck. And the one thing we've noticed tonight about the game so far, especially in the first period, is they really forecheck the front of the goal. They jam the front of the net every chance they get. They work the points really well. They get it back, and they feed the front of the net every chance.
Well, the New Westminster Royals, although they were not as sharp as we have seen them, have kept the body in front of anything that had a sort of a goal. Dono and Derry Menard have thrown out some very good checks from behind the blue line, but that's done again. You can do that when you've got your wingers coming back checking, and the defenseman can stay right up at that blue line.
Oh, you sure can. Got the second period just underway. Puck goes back in the zone. We've got John Colvin coming out and stopping it. Leads it for Angus. Hanging off the boards, up to George. Justin George up the middle, up to Harrington. Takes a good solid check by Menard. He felt that one. And it's back just inside the Ladner Penguin zone. Jamie Rennie back over to Angus. Angus, dangerous pass right across the front of his goal. Something we don't teach a lot of the minor players to do a lot. Gives coaches gray hair. Still in the zone. Jamie Rennie tried to get it back to Jamie Rennie. Jamie Rennie misplayed it at the point. He takes a check there by Jones against the boards. Knocked down. Jones give the puck up to Proctor. Proctor coming into Jones. Gives it back, takes a shot a little wide of the goal. Justin George coming out of his own zone. Goes up, he's got Walsh with him. Crosses the line, takes a good move in front of the net. Up to Harrington, deflects off the goalie and out of play. Caton just got a piece of that off his arm and up and over top of the glass.
Well, the power play is over, Steve, for the Ladner Penguins, and they were unsuccessful, so we still have a 1-0 score. Let's just very quickly, ladies and gentlemen, we've talked about where the standings are for the Coastal Division, but the Interior Division, which is now down to the 3 teams because of the disbanding of the Penticton Knights, of course, just as the season went on. First place is the Vernon Lakers, then the Kelowna Spartans and the Merritt Centennials are in third place, and we'll get to the scoring summary as time permits.
Got White with the puck behind his goal. Give it off to Moore. Moore, give it up the middle, up straight up to Carpin. Comes in, crosses the line. You give it off to Jones. Jones takes it in the corner. Carpin going after it behind the goal. Sofakidis with the puck. Tries to get it around the referee, and he did. Sofakida lost it. Give it off to Parnetta. Parnetta comes up the middle. Going up. Just gets it in the zone. And they had a little bit of an offside.
A little bit of an offside.
Just a little bit.
It sat a little bit.
Well, it wasn't too much.
I see, but it was just enough to make it offside.
That was the case where
nice.
AJ Callum just being brought up. He wasn't sure what their standard set play was and put himself offside.
There's Tom Wittenberg. You see number 88, the winger, and he's out with AJ Callum. And there's Kerr. He's just come back from the dressing room because he didn't come out originally with the team.
No, he walked back, but I think he still felt that when he was taken down in the corner. We got Mager with the puck for the Ladner Penguins. Left it off, lost it. White picks the puck up, feeds it behind the goal. Jones took a check on a man. Jones comes out of the goal with the puck, give it off. Wittenberg tries to give it, rink wide, out in the neutral zone. It's intercepted by Moore. Moore just dumps it back in. Sofakidis going after it. Colvin playing the side of the goal cautiously, back at the point, back to White. White tries to dump it in the middle, give it out to Carpin. We've got a delayed penalty being called. We've got coming up to the Ladner Penguins. He was taken down rather heavily in front of the goal. Got a cross-checking penalty coming up to the Ladner Penguins.
See if we get the replay. That was a pretty good example of cross-checking.
Yeah, that was obvious.
Don't do it in front of the referee like that in particular when he's down there behind the goal line waiting to make sure he's in good position. He's going to see it at all. So you got Jason Mager. There you saw just at the very end of that clip where Jason Mager just decked him. So the Penguins will be in a position of having to play one man short. And I don't think Dr. Walters wanted that this early in the second period with the Penguins only leading by a goal.
No, that's not much of a cushion. I don't think he really wanted that. From the faceoff. It's kept in the zone. Colvin comes out and stops it. Holds on to it. He wants to get a stoppage of play. 6 seconds gone of the penalty. Faceoff still in the zone.
I think this is an important part of the game for the Penguins right now, Steve, is they've got to prove to themselves that they can in fact kill the penalties and control their own end of the ice when they're a man short. And let's see if they're able to do that.
From the faceoff, Haas just dumped it in the corner. Back at the point, back to Wolf. Wolf in his own zone. Give it up, tries to give it to Nickel, got it back. Wolf just lost the puck along behind the boards. Goes in, they come in and they knock the goal off. And I believe we've got another penalty to the Ladner Penguins.
Intentionally knocking the goal off its moorings.
That wasn't too obvious, was it?
Well, Gary Smith was one of the best at doing that. He'd just sort of drop his shoulder underneath there when he was with the Vancouver Canucks or the Chicago Blackhawks or I believe the Toronto Maple Leafs and whoever else.
I think this one's going to Chuck Netta.
Well, I was just going to comment, Paul Chuck Netta has not seen a lot of ice time, and previously to Christmas, he in fact was one of the better defensemen at the break. Now here you see him coming in, and he just intentionally bumps into it, knocks it off. He gets 2 minutes for delay of game.
For any of you young minor hockey referees that are watching, if you do that in the last 2 minutes of the game, dislodging the net, that's an automatic penalty shot in the last 2 minutes of the game.
And as I say, Gary Smith is one of the best at that.
Oh, very much so. Jamie Rennie with the puck in the corner. Shoots it out. Down all the way down the ice. Caden coming out of the goal. Stops it. Left it off to Wolf. Wolf with the puck behind his own goal. Stops. Straight up the middle. Comes up the neutral zone. Give it rink wide over to McDonald. McDonald takes it in the corner. Still trying to set it up. Got a two-man advantage right now. Keep it in. McDonald with the puck along the boards. Wolf on the far side. McDonald gets it back over to Wolf. Dumps it in. Give it off to David Earn. David Earn going in after the corner. Earn with the puck, trying to get it out to Nickel. Shoots a little wide of the goal. It's kept in at the point over to Haas. Haas. Give it off to McDonald. McDonald gets a shot a little bit high and wide of the goal. Kept in by Hawes again. Hawes back at the point to McDonald. McDonald still with the puck. Oh, he lost it. Walsh stopped it. Just deflected it outside the neutral zone. Still got a two-man advantage. Offsides waved off. The setup stayed onside. It's in the corner. David Earn with the puck. Tried to give it rink wide out the front. Couldn't. David Earn fighting for the puck. Give it off to Wolf. Takes a shot. Good stop on the play by Colvin to keep it out.
Excellent play by Colvin on that. Again, it's an example of a goaltender standing on his feet. Up until that point, the New Westminster Royals hadn't been able to get the Ladner Penguins running around. And when you're playing that sort of a triangle, shall we say, or the diamond, it's very important that the two men in the back go as a unit. Here's the puck out front there. You see it by Andrew Wolf and number 23, Mike Hawes. Colvin coming across and smothering the puck. We've got two penalties in the... or two players in the penalty box, I should say, for the Ladner Penguins, and this is a very important point in the game for both teams.
On the face-off, Hayden gets it back to McClellan. McClellan tried to get it over to Ward, couldn't. Shot out down the ice. Sofokitis just dumped it down all the way down in New West Royal zone. Royals coming up, getting the Ladner Penguin zone. Rink wide, they're one man short now. Tried to get it out front. Colvin comes out, stops it. Get it back. Hayden takes a shot. Stopped again by Colvin. Goes in the corner. They're fighting for the puck. Give it off to Dwyer. And we've got a delayed penalty being called by the referee
and
again.
if you watch this, Tasso Sofokitis, he is going to get a punch right in the mouth by Darren McClellan. And there was no question about this. Tasso went down like he'd been hit by a poleaxe. He got a right. And that's a costly penalty for the New Westminster Royals because they were still a man to the good as far as the power play went, and they hadn't been able to score with two men short, which is going to help the confidence of the Ladner Penguins. And Tasso Sofokitis is now getting to his knees, and they're looking at his mouth. He got an elbow right in the mush.
That's what they say, keep your head up. I think that all incurred because the New West Royals were a little bit frustrated because they couldn't score a goal and they had the two-man advantage. And a little bit testy, but needless to say, he took a penalty. Foolish penalty, but he still took a clear call. From our vision up here, we have 10 seconds left in the Ladner penalty, minor penalty, and then they'll have a power play. Back in the New West Royal zone, Menard. Back over to Mano Menard. Give it over to Derry Menard. Shoots it up and down the ice. Jamie Rennie just let it go by him. Colvin stops it. Ladner Penguins at full strength. New West Royals killing a penalty now. Got Angus coming out of his own zone. Circles in front of his goal. Dangerous move. Cross ice to Jamie Rennie. Jamie Rennie up the middle. Give it off Justin George. It's intercepted by Derry Menard. Backs up, plays it cautious in his own zone, bangs it off the boards, out to the center. Jamie Rennie gets, turns, over to Angus. Straight up the middle, up to Justin George. Give it over to Walsh. Comes up inside the zone, takes a good shot, he scores! Nice shot by Walsh on that one. Their own zone.
Well, that's a power play goal, Steve, and I believe Walsh caught Caden a little flat-footed, shall we say, because Caden was out, but I don't think he expected the shot. There you see the pass ahead to Walsh from Kerry Angus, and there's the shot. Nothing difficult about that. Normally Caden makes that save, but as I say, I think he didn't expect the shot at that point, and on a slap shot, you don't have a whole lot of opportunity if you're not anticipating it coming.
No, that might have been a riser, too. Sometimes you'll get a riser shot, and it'll flutter, it'll catch the goaltender off guard, because he's pretty easily stopped those. You've got Wittenberg with the puck coming out of their own zone. Give it off to A.J. Kellum for the New Ladner Penguins, coming out. They get it. Wolf tried to get the puck out of his own zone, lost it. And give it off to Sukarov, and he lost it. Still kept in the zone. Proctor with the puck in the corner. Tried to get it out front. Out to Neufeld. Neufeld took a weak shot. He was knocked down by Kerr. Kerr's back on the ice. But
we've got Jason Mager down beside the net. I think he got clipped in that melee of players. He's now getting to his feet, but very, very slowly. The trainer is out there, and it's his arm. I'm sorry. It looks like his arm is just dangling down there. He's really hurting. He's heading right for the dressing room. Let's hope Jason isn't hit, because it was interesting. Just prior to that, Jason Mager had thrown a tremendous body check. Jason is a big hockey player, but it certainly looks like maybe his shoulders popped out or something. Let's see if we can see the collision. There's Mager. And there's going down. I don't see what happened to him even yet. I guess he must have just got hit by 2 or 3 players going in opposite directions. And
when he landed, he could have landed on the back steel part of the net. There's not much padding on top of it. Got Bob Vermette with the puck in the corner. Being forechecked by Carpin. Carpin with the puck, trying to get it out front. We've got Colvin coming out, falls down, stops it, gets a stoppage of play.
Let's see if we can see this replay again. Now, it's just off of the side of the net. The puck's in the corner. And Mager comes out, throws a body check, and he hit number 16, I guess it was, and that's when he hurt his shoulder. Perry Neufeld. He hit Neufeld, and that's how he hurt his shoulder. I think he's dislocated his shoulder from the looks of that, Steve, the way
he was sure favoring it when he went off.
That would be a big loss, because he's one of the bigger defensemen that the Ladner Penguins have.
Yeah, he is. Got Vermette coming up the middle, across the line, took some good shot. Caden stops that, plays it easy. Off the boards, we've got Andrew Wolf coming out of his own zone. Lost the puck. Knocked down at center. McDonald coming up. Just dumps it in the zone. Back out. Play a little ragged right now at the stage of the game. We've got Andrew Wolf in his own zone. Out the middle. Up the center. Up to Carpin. Carpin lost the puck. Give it over to Parnetta. Parnetta just shoots it up. Back down in the West Royal zone. McDonald going behind. Corner for it. Being forechecked. Varhog was forechecking him. Doing a good job by Varhog. Stay on his man. And Andrew Wolf shoots the puck up the middle. He's kept in the zone by Parnetta. Good shot high off the glass and out of play. And a face-off should be outside, I believe, in the neutral zone.
All right, score, the Ladner Penguins 2 and the New Westminster Royals nothing. The first goal scored by Bill Harrington unassisted at 3:17 of the first period. And here in the second period, we had Dale Walsh getting a power play goal at 4.01 of the second period. Assists going to Kerry Angus and Jamie Rennie. And that was a power play goal.
Goes all the way back down in the Ladner Penguin zone. Colvin holds on it. It's a stoppage of play. We've got 13 minutes and 5 seconds left in the second period of play from Queen's Park Arena.
Steve, I don't know whether it's me or not, but the Royals, even though they're behind by 2-0, they still look like they're in total control of what it is they're doing. And I think that's the strength of this team, as we were talking about. They stick to a game plan, and they believe now that nobody can beat them. And that's such an easy thing to play with during a game. Hard to coach, but easy to play with as a player.
Well, I think that'd be a safe bet to say. They're so far ahead of the pack right now. Just shot back in the zone. Caden comes out, stops it. Off the board, just kept in by Justin George. George tried to get it to Harrington, couldn't. Back to Walsh, back to Harrington. Harrington tried to give it back to Walsh, couldn't. It was intercepted by White. The New West Royals, it's out the middle. Angus shoots it back all the way in. Earn takes the puck behind his own goal. Plays it off the boards. Give it off to Hawes. Hawes tried to get it up the middle to Nickel, couldn't. A little bit too far. Walsh lost the puck to Rennie. Rennie give it to Angus up the middle. Tried to give it to Harrington. Harrington's taken down out of the play by Hawes. Hawes with the puck over center, shoots it in the zone. We've got David Earn going against Angus. The two of them bumping pretty heavy. Nickel with the puck behind his own goal. Walsh just left the puck over to Angus. Angus shoots it up the middle, all the way out and down. McClellan with the puck in his own zone. Turns straight up the middle. Nice pass up to Dwyer. Dwyer coming up. Got two guys with him. Tried to get it into him. Couldn't. It's intercepted by Vermette. Vermette coming up. Cross center. He's in the Royal zone and they go offside. Justin George was offside by about a foot.
And he wasn't too happy with himself for doing that. You know, one of the guys that we've talked about from the Ladner Penguins point of view was a big help to them was Paul Chucknett, and he's only had about 2 shifts. And now with Jason Mager, I'm wondering whether Chucknett is in the doghouse or if he, because he still isn't coming off the bench. He's only taken, I think, as I say, 2 shifts. The New Westminster Royals, John Oliver is using his entire bench as he does every game, and I think, again, that shows the strength of this Royals team.
They've got good bench strength from the whole squad. Anybody they throw out, they've got good strength. Back in the zone, Dwyer keeps it in the Penguin zone. Lost it up to Kerr. Kerr's back after that injury he suffered. Coming up, got Wittenberg coming in, goes around his man. Takes a shot on goal. Good stop by Caden. Plays it. Just left it off to Donald Menard. Menard behind his own goal. He give it off to Dwyer. got Hayden with him. Give it off to Colin Ward, and they went offside. I believe we've got a penalty indicated by referee Kelly Martin. Something that took place after the fact.
That, of course, infuriates any coach. They don't like to see that at all. You know, that's one of the cheap penalties. Every once in a while, you sort of say, well, that was a good penalty. He didn't have any choice. But number 11 for Greg, the Royals, Greg Haddon, is getting 2 minutes. I didn't quite.
I believe it's for slashing.
Was it for slashing?
Signal that Kelly indicated to us. Yeah, that was after the fact. That's what you call a foolish penalty, as you said, Keith. Back in the Penguin zone. Angus. Give it up to Walsh. Walsh over to Harrington here in the zone. Pixel shot wide of the goal. Proctor got the puck off the glass. Shot it out back in the neutral zone. Angus going after it. Icing waved off. The New West Royals are killing the penalty. Ladner Penguins leading 2-0 for the New West Royals. Got Walsh trying to come out of his own zone and set play up. Cross ice pass behind his own goal. Over to Rennie. Rennie give it up to Harrington. Lost it, intercepted by Walsh. Walsh turns in front of his own goal, gives it over to Jamie Rennie. Jamie Rennie goes wide, gets it up the middle, up to Jones. Jones lost the puck back in his own zone to McDonald. McDonald rink wide, give it over to Wolf. Wolf just shoots it up the middle. Intercepted by Walsh. Walsh to Angus. Up to Jamie Rennie. Nice reach by Jamie Rennie's stick to get a hold of that one. Tried to get a shot on goal, couldn't. Got it back, shoots behind the goal. Caden stops it, shoots it up and down, out. Icing's waved off. Still killing the penalty. Got Vermette with the puck behind his own goal. Took a good solid check there by Jones. Jones throwing his weight around a lot. Tried to get the puck out to Sukarov, and he couldn't, and we had a stoppage of play.
Well, Steve, you know, one thing about the Royals is even though they're a man down in the power play situation to the Ladner Penguins and 2 goals behind, they still are very aggressive about their forechecking. They stay in their lanes, shall we say, their position, but that man who is the forecheck doesn't just go in there and sort of coast at it. He's aggressive, and as you said, if Jones can get a hold of you and throw the body check, he will do it, take you out of the play, almost as if they're at even strength. But they're a very aggressive team, and they're well disciplined.
Well, Jones isn't that big, but he's sure throwing his weight around a lot out there. Got Kerr coming inside over the Royals zone, taken out by White. Kerr give the puck to Safakidis. Safakidis takes a shot wide of the goal, deflected a little bit wide. Far side over to Mager. Mager give it into Kerr. Kerr tried to center it out, couldn't. Back out in the neutral zone. Give it off to McMillan. McMillan just shoots it back in the zone, gets behind the goal. Caden comes out of his goal, stops it, leaves it off for White. White with the puck behind. Oh, clearing ice in front. Dangerous pass again. Moore coming up in the Ladner Penguin zone. Goes rink wide. Tried to center it. Stopped by Colvin on the short side. Coming out. Kerr intercepts the pass. Out of the zone, up to center. Comes up, across the blue line, takes a shot. Put it right in. That completely eluded Caden on that shot.
Maybe that was a riser.
That must have been.
That was a long slap shot that just went over the shoulder.
That even caught us off guard.
Yes, it was high to the stick side. Got a replay coming up here, and it's interesting. The 2 players that have been carted off, they must have the best trainer. Kirk just gets to the blue line, and he just lets a slap shot go, and it beats Caden easily. High to the stick side. It's a little unusual. You don't like to see that. The goaltender should be able to get over that. There you see the puck behind the Ladner Penguins end, being brought out, passed out. There's Kerr. Now watch him right at the blue line, just a high shot, high to the stick side, and in the net.
Maybe that layoff didn't do any good. One never knows, though. Vermette with the puck back behind his own net, lost the puck, given out, intercepted by Haas. Haas tried to pass it out front. They shoot, they scored. Got over North. Put it right underneath Colvin. Good forecheck in there.
Well, that's what the Royals do very well, Steve. They're very aggressive about their forechecking. They use the point men well. They move the puck around very quickly. Donovan Menard with a quick shot, and Colvin, who came out to challenge the shooter, didn't get all of it, and it trickled in behind him. So we've got a 3-1 hockey game for the Ladner Penguins over the New Westminster Royals. And changing the lines, there you see Justin George and Walsh coming out. There's Donald Menard, or there's Derry Menard, I'm sorry.
It seems to me, Keith, that the Royals sit back and they wait for the other team to get a little bit complacent and then put their act together and just motor. From the face-off, you take a shot. Dickel took a shot, deflected a little bit off, out of play. In the wall. Ladner Penguin zone. Yeah, it looked like they just caught them napping on that one. Ladner scored a goal. They come right back. Had the face-off, go right back down to the Royals. Pull one right in. Face-off in the Ladner Penguin zone. We had David Earn. Lost the draw. Up to Justin George. They get it in the zone. It's intercepted by Nickel. Nickel lost the puck in his own zone. Harrington took a check. Took another check. He had it. Lost it to Nickel again. Nickel with the puck. Takes it behind. Give it off to Hawes. Hawes shoots it out in the neutral zone. Hawes going after it. Lost it. Menard. Got leveled against the boards there. We have a delayed penalty coming up to the Ladner Penguins. Goes behind the goal. Ladner gets possession of the puck. Referee blows the whistle. A couple guys come together behind the goal. They start a little bit of fracas, but no harm done. Cooler heads prevailed. Got an interference penalty being called by the referee.
We've got Paul Chucknetta now. We said he's only done 2 shifts, and every time
last shift he was out too.
So you don't get a lot of ice time doing that. But Paul has played very aggressively for the Ladner Penguins since being brought over from Spokane. I believe Paul came as well. Is it Chucknetta or Harrington that's getting the penalty here? We're having trouble locating who's going to get it. They haven't indicated, but it's certainly 2 minutes for something. What did he signal? Steve, I didn't see the signal.
16. Referee Kelly Martin indicated that somebody's getting an interference penalty. There's the referee Kelly Martin. Years of experience behind Kelly.
I thought it was Harrington, and there it is. It's Bill Harrington going in for interference.
Chucknetta's leaving. Chucknetta must have got misconduct. Obviously, he's just leaving because there's only 8:28 left in the second period. There he was we saw him having a little bit of a discussion with linesman Brian Villeneuve just prior to him leaving the ice. From the face-off, linesman Darren Martindale drops the puck. Back on the point to Wolf. Wolf give it off to Hayden. Hayden takes a shot. Good stop by Colvin. Back to Hayden. Back to Wolf. Wolf from the point takes a shot. Tried to deflect it in front. Colvin goes down and stops it. Colvin playing good, smart stand-up goal.
I couldn't hear the... It's not that clear over here, but he sounded as though he was giving Harrington 2 and 10 as well. Harrington didn't seem to say anything. I think I must have misheard, and I think that Chucknetta's getting 10-minute misconduct, and Harrington is getting the 2 minutes for interference.
That would be my guess. Hayden with the puck in the zone, keeps it in. Back at the point, just a little bit wide of the goal. Ward just deflected that wide of the goal. It's kept in at the point. Wolf shoots it in the corner. Got Dwyer going after the puck, forechecking well. U.S. Royals on it back down the zone. Andrew Wolf going after it, takes it behind his own goal. Give it off to McDonald. McDonald coming up, cross the line, got 3 guys with him. Takes it against the boards. Looks off the boards, give it to Hayden. Hayden back at the point to Dwyer. Dwyer takes a shot. Just deflected wide. Jason Mager picks the puck up, tried to clear it out, couldn't. It's intercepted by Hayden again. Stops at the point, keeps it in, over to McDonald. McDonald, give it off to McClellan, takes a shot wide of the goal. He got a lot of pressure on, back at the point to Hayden. Hayden with the puck. Give it rink wide over to McClellan, takes a shot, tried to deflect it in front of the goal, and he couldn't. Back over to Hill, looks, tries to set it up, tried for a deflecting shot in front of the goal, couldn't. Going up, 2-on-1. Tried to get around him. Millen lost the puck. Intercepted by Wolf. Wolf, give it up, rink wide to Carpin. Carpin a little bit too far ahead of him. Carpin took his man out of the play. Jones going after in the corner to help him out. Sofakidis and Jones pushing. Jones with the puck. Back at the point. Give it off to McClellan. McClellan goes in the middle, takes a shot. Good stop by Colvin. Tried to deflect it, kick it in. He goes down.
Came out to challenge the shooter, and then he found himself blocked out of his own net because Blaine Moore had come in behind him, and Colvin couldn't get back to the into the crease, and then everybody fell down, and finally the play was killed because Colvin managed to drop on it, but trying to get back, he was like a man rowing upstream. I believe we're correct, Steve, that Chucknetta's getting the 10-minute misconduct, and Harrington got 2 minutes for interference. Again, you see the problem with the bench. The players are going out, and no, that's not the group we want. There's a divider in between the 2 benches on the visiting side, and it's almost like Dennis Ververgaert, the former Canuck, has one side of the bench, and Ken Walters, the head coach, has the other side of the bench. It gets a little confusing for visiting teams.
Got Jones, goes at the middle, tries to take a shot. Goes behind the goal to Moore. Moore, give it up to Jones, takes a shot, got it top corner. Mark Carpet put her right up top, put her in.
Well, that was not a power play goal because Harrington had just stepped out of the box, but he was not able to get back into the play. The score now, the Ladner Penguins 3 and the New Westminster Royals 2. And the Royals are starting to move the puck a lot more efficiently than they were for the first period and a half. It's being moved crisply and it's going from man to man quickly. And you can see where the Bruins or the Royals are having that man in front of the net stand there and cause the Penguins some problems. Here you see Carpin right out in front. He's standing all by himself. The defensemen have got their back to him, and nobody even sees him. And you can't do that. One of those defensemen has got to be able to see him and able to get to Carpin.
Got to take him out. Got A.J. Kellen for Ladner Penguins coming up. Lost it. White picks the puck up behind the goal. Barnetta was checking him. Back to A.J. Kellen. A.J. Kellen doing a good job and forechecking here. Against the boards. Moore with the puck. Give it up the middle. Give it up to McClellan. McClellan crosses the blue line. Got Carpin with him. Takes behind the goal. Pass it out front. Shoots. Good stop by Colvin to keep it out of the goal there. They're jamming the front of that goal. Something wicked now.
Well, as again, with a team like the Royals, Steve, once they get the sort of, shall we say, like a shark, once they get the taste of blood, they just keep turning it on, and they turn it up a notch. Good shot from the point from Donald Menard, then Mark Carpin right out in front of the net. As I say, the defensemen had their back turned to him. They didn't even see Carpin sneak in behind there. The puck comes up before Colvin is able to do anything. Carpin put it up high and into the ceiling of the netting, and that's, again, the problem that a lot of teams have. They forget the guys out front of the net when somebody goes behind the net like Wayne Gretzky does all the time.
It's kept in at the point. Shot a little bit wide of the goal. Good stop by Colvin to keep it out. Got a penalty coming up. Well, I believe it's to the Ladner Penguins. Could be wrong on this play.
I think it's a New Westminster Royal penalty. It's interesting. We've seen two players leave the ice service with very serious injuries. One of them, of course, was Jeff Kerr, and he came back, but not right at the start of the second period. And we saw Jason Mager go off, and the way his arm was dangling down there, he was certainly in a great deal of pain. So maybe the New Westminster Royal or the Ladner Penguins have got the best trainer in town. Injured, we can heal.
They sure come back quick. It's a different angle.
There you see the puck behind the net. Number 17 for the Royals, that's Blaine Moore, right out in front to Carpin, and there's absolutely nothing that Colvin can do.
Jamie Rennie with the puck behind his own goal, lost it. In the corner, he lost the puck over to Neufeld. Neufeld give the puck over to Proctor, tried to get it out front. He's up and out of play.
But if you're coaching a team, Steve, one of the things you've got to watch out for, and it happens, it's very dangerous in power play, where the entire team, the defensive team, turns their back to the blue line and, in fact, forgets about the people in front of the net and the power play and the guys from the points, and they sneak in, and, in fact, the only player who can see him is the goaltender, and he's got to watch the puck. You've got to be able to sort of watch them out of your periphery and know where they are all the time. There you are seeing some of the fans enjoying themselves. You have a lovely young lady all bundled up nice and warm. Hopefully she's enjoying it. Maybe she's a Ladner fan.
Got a good crowd tonight at Queen's Park. Got Angus with the puck behind his own goal. Comes up, give it up to Walsh. Walsh comes up, he's up the center. Goes in the Royal zone, stops, gets it out front, over to Harrington, misplayed it, shoots it all the way out and down this ice. The U.S. Royals are killing the penalty. And also going off on a line change at the same time. Angus coming out of his own zone. Nice little dipsy doodle there to get up. Give it off to Walsh. Walsh coming up. He's got Justin George taking his man out of the play. Blaine Moore tried to clear it out of the zone. Couldn't. Kept in by Jamie Rennie. Goes off the glass. Looked like he was trying to pick the referee off, but we know different. I don't think he was trying to do that. Over to Justin George. Keeps it in. Back to Angus. Angus, nice little flip shot. Gets possession of the puck back. Couple guys pushing. Justin George lost possession of the puck there for a minute. Regains it. He's being forechecked by Carpin. Carpin doing a good job forechecking. Goes in the middle. George going after it again. Takes him out of the play. Harrington staying with him. Carpin with the puck. Coming up. Off the skate. Blaine Moore. Back to Carpin. Carpin going in, and Donald Menard just was offside by enough to go offside, though.
There's an example of what we were talking about earlier for people to watch Justin George. He's not the biggest hockey player, but he always seems to be able to get where the puck is. He forechecks well. When the play came out of the offensive zone, he was quick to come back and pick up his man. And I think Justin George is one of those players who's going to be picked up by one of the U.S. colleges next year. There you see A.J. Callum, the young player from the South Delta Hockey Organization.
A lot of credit to A.J. He's doing a good job on forechecking tonight. There we see the puck just being shot all the way out and down the ice by Kelly Jones. It was just a little bit wide of the goal. Jason Mager picks it up behind his own goal, setting it up. Ladner Penguins still on a power play, but not for too long. Shoots it out of the zone. The Royals lost the puck. Sofakidis to Wittenberg. Just cleared it out of the zone. It's intercepted by McMillan. McMillan takes the puck, goes in the zone, over to Wittenberg. Kellum with the puck. Good move. Back to Sofakidis. Heads up play. They lost it. No offside pass call. He's coming out of his own zone. David Aaron shoots. Little wide of the goal. Played that well. Good call by the linesman. Darren Martindale to keep that one on side. It's kept in at the blue line by McClellan. Tried to get it up. McMillan comes in the zone, takes a shot. High, deflects off his stick. McDonald just had it deflect off his stick, go off the top of the glass. We get the glass is really tall here in Queens Park, so it didn't go out of play. Maker tried to keep it at the blue line, couldn't. Back in. Got delayed offside, indicated by linesman Brian Villeneuve. Coming out of the zone. McDonald brings it out of the zone, up the center. Got two guys with him. Nichols going in front of the... McDonald's taken down, no call. Lost to the disgruntled fans. Body's getting a little bit late on heavy here. Goes in, goes to take a shot. Hawes takes a shot, wide of the goal. Gets it back. Earn took a shot, goes in the corner, over to Nickel. Back to Hawes. Nickel gets the puck back. Tried to get it back to Earn, couldn't. Put it back in the corner. Back to White. Walsh, forecheck on White. Stepped in by Earn. Earn tried to pass it in front to Nickel. Nickel lost the puck, picked up by Harrington. Goes in the corner. Harrington's being forechecked by Hawes. Off the glass, they just shoot it out and down the ice. Icing is waved off by linesman Brian Villeneuve. Go back down the zone. Against the boards. He's being forechecked by Walsh. They're trying to get a whistle. Referee says move the puck, guys. Finally it pops loose. David Earn picks the puck up. Coming up, just out in the neutral zone. He gives it up to Hawes. Hawes takes a shot. Good stop by Colvin. And referee gets a stoppage of play. We got 1 minute and 55 seconds left in the second period of play.
Steve, I think you can see where the Ladner Penguins are starting to run around a little bit out there. The New Westminster Royals are forechecking extremely well, and the Penguins are having difficulty getting the puck out. It doesn't matter whether they bring the puck along the boards or try to get it out through the center ice area. The Royals are right on top of them, and they're not giving them a chance to think about it. They're doing what from an offensive point of view, you like to see your players doing. They're getting right on top of those defensemen very, very quickly. From your defensive point of view, that's when you have to tell your defensemen in particular, move the puck, get those wingers come back, help them out, and when you get the puck, move it out, just dump it out quickly so we can get regrouped, because if we leave it in there, we're going to have some real problems. There you see Dale Walsh and number 11, Craig Haddon, waiting for the face-off. Harrington is being set back to the bench. Here comes Jeff Kerr, one of the players that we said was injured earlier and back in the game. We're glad to see that.
I'll get back to that in a minute. From the face-off, Walsh lost the draw. Good play by Hayden just to dump it forward. Back out to Hayden out front. Good stop by Colvin to keep it out.
There again is an example of the goaltender standing up very, very well. Talking about goal scorers, the goal scored by Donald McNard to start the game for the New Westminster Royals. That was his sixth goal of the season, and Mark Carpin picked up his 42nd, and those are the two scorers so far for the New Westminster Royals.
From the faceoff, Hayden lost the puck. Ward misplayed it, give it over to Justin George. Coming up, Walsh just bangs it in the zone, right shot on goal, right to Caden, stops it rather cautiously. Coming out, we've got Deneau Menard coming up the center, up to Derry Menard. Gives it off to Hayden. Hayden back out to Menard, front to Menard, takes a shot high and wide over top of the net. And we've got a whistle, and we've got a penalty indicated by referee Kelly Martin to holding.
I think Kerry Angus is going to get it right out in front of the net. We talk about the defenseman having to clear those offensive players out in front to help the goaltender, but you've got to do it in a manner that doesn't constitute a penalty, and unfortunately for Mr. Angus, he was unable to do that. And that's again the problem when you've got a smaller defenseman and a big forward. The likes of the Ken Hodges and the Phil Espositos and even the Mario Lemieux now. They're so big, the defensemen have a great deal of difficulty moving them out.
Ladner's taking penalties that are so obvious right now. They're doing it right in front of the referee. That's the part. It's going to get him behind the 8 ball. They don't want that. From the faceoff, it's out front to Hayden. He lost the puck. Intercepted by Sofakidis. Shoots it out and down the ice. Deneau Menard going after it. Looks, takes it behind his own goal. Stops, set everything up. Last minute of play coming up. Second period of play. Deneau Menard coming up out to the neutral zone. Give it off to Derry Menard. Going in, and they're offside. The Ladner Penguins blue line. A face-off just outside in front of the New West Royals bench.
Well, That's what the Ladner Penguins want to see them do, because it takes the face-off outside of the Ladner defensive zone, and it's much easier to defend when you're across. Caden, I think, have played very well in the nets. Steve, the layoff hasn't seemed to hurt either one of them too badly, although Caden has had a couple of goals that I don't think we would normally see go in, but overall they played exceptionally well, and the goaltenders are the skill positions that the layoff, I think, would hurt most of all.
Yeah, that's true. Blaine Moore dumps it in the Carpin with the puck. Tried to get it into Moore. Takes it behind the goal. Being checked by Jamie Rennie. Give it out to Carpin. Lost it. Tried to get it out front. It's intercepted by Mager. Just bangs it off the boards. It's kept into the point by McDonald. McDonald lost it. Wittenberg taking it in the corner. We get 30 seconds left in the second period. Middle takes a shot. Deflected with a high stick. Knocked down. Face off outside in the neutral zone.
Again, that's exactly what the Ladner Penguins. To goal, the score 3-2 for the Ladner Penguins in the second period. The reason I mentioned that the goaltending might be the position that you would see the players being the most affected by it is getting used to having a puck shot at you. If you don't do that for 2 weeks, your reflexes get a bit. The angles, and then of course the amount of padding that a goaltender wears. Your legs are going to get tired, and it's just a position that, although they say you're the worst skater on the team, that is the furthest thing from the truth. You probably got to be the best condition and one of the best skaters.
That's true. We've got Andrew Wolf. Shoot the puck in the zone from the face-off. Intercepted by Walsh. Walsh lost the puck to Wolf. Wolf give it to Nickel. Nickel gets the puck back out front, takes a shot. Good stop by Colvin to keep that out. Nickel played that well. Shoots it out all the way down. Icing's waved off by the linesman. Ladner Penguins still killing the penalty, and the buzzer goes to end the second period of play. The score, Ladner Penguins 3, New West Royals 2.
Well, after 2 periods of action, the score sheet reads a little bit more complicated with the goal scoring. There was a total of 4 goals scored in that second period, Steve. 2 by the Ladner Penguins and 2 by the New Westminster Royals. And the Penguins have always been in the lead. They got the first goal in the first period unassisted by Bill Harrington at 3:17. And from that point on, they in fact had a 3-0 lead. And the New Westminster Royals have battled back from that 3-0 deficit to make the score 3-2. I would have to say that from about the halfway point of that second period, the Royals started to take control of the game.
Very much so. The Ladner Penguins were up, as we said, 3-0. They looked like they got a little bit complacent, or a little bit saying, well, we got the lead, don't worry about it right now. The New West Royals, they're a never-say-die team. They're extremely well coached. They just laid back. They just took it in stride. They kept driving and driving and driving, forcing the front of the net. They're forcing the plays. They're getting the shots from the point, and they've got to catch up.
Well, I think with the Royals, they're so confident in their skill level and their ability to win a game. It's not that they're complacent in the sense of we'll win this game no matter what. It's just let's get used to what we're doing here, and they are just a totally confident team, and when they start to taste victory, they really turn it on. We interviewed prior to the game the defenseman for the New Westminster Royals, number 5, Garrett McDonald, and we'll bring that interview to you right now. Garrett McDonald of the New Westminster Royals. Pretty good season so far for you, Garrett.
Well, it's been a very good season. Had a good start in Richmond, and then I was lucky enough to be traded from one good organization to another good organization. So far, so good.
How do you feel? How do you feel being picked up by another team? Have you fit in and the players accepted you? They traded 3 players for you that were, part of the team, and now you're the new guy coming in. How have they accepted you?
Well, it was tough at first. You come in, there was the players that were traded were, good team guys, but, that I fit in, and, the guys are great guys. I've been accepted, and this team is just one of the closest teams I've ever been on in hockey. It's just a great bunch of guys, and I'm glad I can be a part of such a good organization as this.
Well, you're one of the few local players in this organization, and I understand you've accepted a full scholarship for next year to Northern Michigan University, if I'm correct?
Yes, I have. I've talked to a number of different schools, but the school that I thought I could benefit from and which I think I could help and which they could help me was Northern Michigan, and so that's the school I took, and I'm glad the decision is over, and it was a tough decision, but I'm happy with it.
What do you think is the most important part of your game that you're going to have to work on improving as far as going to the U.S. colleges from what they've told you?
Oh, well, that part of the game you got to improve is everywhere around. You got to improve on every part of your game. Your skating, everything. There's no one part that you can't. Everything's got to be improved to become a better hockey player.
All right, we'll return with play-by-play action in just a moment. Welcome back to Queen's Park Arena, where the score is the visiting Ladner Penguins 3 and the New Westminster Royals 2. After 2 complete periods of hockey action, Steve, we've certainly seen some interesting goals and a few injuries, as we say. You injure them, we fix them, seems to be the motto of the Ladner Penguins, because we've had 2 players injured very seriously, it appeared, and they've come back to the surface and played well for the Penguins.
They have. The trainer's doing a marvelous job down there. We've had a couple injuries. We've had one where the shoulder popped out. He put it back in. Trainer very obviously must know what he's doing. Otherwise, he wouldn't be putting the player's shoulder back in and letting him go.
And we've got a summary coming up of the second period of action. There you see Dale Walsh's goal at 4:01. That was a power play goal with assists going to Jamie Rennie and Kerry Angus. And Jeff Kerr coming back from what we thought was a very serious injury at 10:41. He got the third goal for the Ladner Penguins, giving them a 3-0 lead. Then the New Westminster Royals started to come back with Donald Menard and a blistering shot from the point, making it at 10:52, making it 3-1, and then Mark Carpin got his 42nd goal of the season at 13:37 when he was left alone in front of the net, Steve, and just put it up high on John Colvin. So we've got a score of 3-2, and we've got some highlights we'd like to show you of the goals scored by the players. We've got, I believe, Dale Walsh's goal coming up here. And if you watch this, you'll see where Walsh gets the pass from Kerry Angus right at center ice, wheels around. The defensemen do what they are supposed to. They stay way out in front of the goaltender so that he can see it, but the puck just beats Corey Caden in the net. That made it 2-0 for the Ladner Penguins, and it was a good shot. We've had a couple of long shots tonight, Steve.
We've had a couple of long shots. They've completely fooled both goaltenders, but you can't fault the goaltenders. Even though they've been off, they've had a little bit of a Christmas break. We're coming up with the next one right now.
This is the puck going in behind the net. Now watch this. It comes out very quickly to Jeff Kerr, and all he does is he gets to the blue line and lets a slap shot go. Maybe the defenseman screened the goaltender, Caden, a little bit, but it went high to the stick side. 3-0 for the Ladner Penguins, and the Ladner Penguins seem to be in control of what was going on out there in the period and a half of hockey.
At that point, they did, but as we discussed earlier, and even between the break, don't say die to the New West Royals. They've come back. It was 3-0. Now we've got a 3-goal.
Well, we've got now Donald Menard's coming up, I believe it is. Oh, no, this is Carpin's goal. There's the face-off. Now, the puck is taken back by Kelly Jones. He tries to shoot it in behind the net once. He gets away with it, and now everybody, as you can see, has their back turned, and Carpin is left alone out front, and it's up high to the glove side, and that made the score 3-2. And as I say, that was Mark Carpin's 42nd goal of the season, and you now know why he's the first all-star center in the Coastal Division. I think we also, if we have time, we're going to see Jason Mager's injury. Oh, the breakaway. Sorry, we've got a breakaway coming up here by David Earn. Comes out of the penalty box. He's onside behind the 2 defensemen, and he takes a rush at this, and he fans on the shot and then just misses to the far side of the net. Colvin stayed right in front of him and tried to take away as much of the angle as he could, but I think David Earn thought he had his 19th goal of the year and fanned on the puck by looking up, Steve.
There's one thing we can say about that goal where he managed to stay onside was it was good voice communication between both linesmen. They were good holler and good and loud, so one linesman wasn't going to call it.
We've got the injury now to Jason Mager. This is where his shoulder pops out, and you can see the collision, and he throws a body check right in front of the, or just to the side, I should say, of the Ladner Penguins net. He hits Paul Newfield, or Perry Newfield, I should say. Hits Perry Newfield, and at that point, the shoulder pops out, and he came back shortly thereafterwards. So as we said, the trainer certainly knows what he's doing. The New Westminster Royals are back on the ice. The Ladner Penguins are not yet, Steve. We made one mistake in the penalties. Bill Harrington, in fact, was serving Paul Chucknetta's penalty because Chucknetta got 2 minutes for interference, and then he got a 10-minute misconduct, and Chucknetta just went to the dressing room so that he wouldn't have to sit in the penalty box. And I had thought Harrington got the 2 minutes for interference earlier in the play, but in fact I was wrong. We've now got number 4 for the Ladner Penguins, Kerry Angus, serving his penalties, and I'm sure we'll see Chucknetta coming out here at some time because he's got to go and finish his penalty because there was only 8 minutes to go in the second period. I don't see Chucknetta out. There he goes. He's just getting into the penalty box now. So the score 3-2 for the Ladner Penguins over the New Westminster Royals, and we've got 1 period of exciting hockey action from the Queen's Park Arena.
And the third period is just underway. Goes back in the Ladner Penguin zone. Mager taking his man out of the play, goes along the board. Sofakidis going after the puck. Lost it, still behind the goal. Sofakidis bangs away at it. Puck's bouncing puck, looks like it's frozen. It's back at the point. Kept in at the point by Moore. Goes in, side of the goal, try to get it out front to McDonald. They shoot, they score! Pretty goal.
Well, I think that goal is going to go to Kelly Jones, but John Colville got a piece of it, and it just trickled by him. There you see the puck back to the point. Again, they're shifting over, moving the puck around. Neufeld with the shot to number 6. That's Mark Carpin, but I think Kelly Jones gets the goal because after it got through Colville, I think the fact that Kelly Jones deflected it in. Now watch this. You can see where the Royals are moving the puck around and changing. The point man gets the puck, drops it off to Jones. Jones takes the shot, or fakes the shot over to Carpin, and Jones follows it in.
And from the face-off, we had a quick icing call. Face-off back in the New West Royal zone. There's what we were saying earlier on, Keith. You've got to stay on top of the New West Royals. You can't let them get the extra stride on you. That goal took 22 seconds from the opening face-off to the start of the third period.
And a tie hockey game. That's what we have now. We said we had an exciting period of hockey. So we hope that you people who are watching, whether you're shut in and can't get out to the game, are enjoying it.
McCullen with the puck. Lost it, takes his man out of the play. Justin George misstayed the puck. Give it off the wall. He shot it wide. Back at the point. Jamie Rennie took a shot a little high and wide over top of the goal. Royals coming out. Lost the puck. Hawes coming up. Cross the blue line, and they go up, put themselves. Nickel was about 3 feet offside. Yeah, there's what we were discussing earlier. You can't give them the extra stride. You've got to stay man-for-man coverage. They were coming out. They were going into the period, a 3-on-2 lead. And all of a sudden, next thing you know, we've got a tie ball game right up here.
Well, again, the Royals are a very aggressive team. Even when they're down, they don't change their game plan, and they really put the pressure on you. And if you don't stay on top of your game, you're going to find yourself in real trouble.
Jamie Rennie gets the puck up. Lost it off to Wittenberg. Wittenberg just shoots it in the zone. Icing's waved off by the linesman. Goes behind the goal. They're fighting for it. Menard coming out from behind his goal. Gets it straight up the middle. Give it off. Hayden goes in the corner, fighting for the puck with Jamie Rennie. Back at the point. Back to Menard. Shoots it high and wide over top of the glass. Kerr going after the puck. Ed Vermette taken out of the play rather heavily. Dwyer's checking his man, trying to keep the puck in. Dwyer's stay with Jamie Rennie. Lost Kerr with the puck. Gets around a man out in the neutral zone. Gives it up. Wittenberg coming in, across the zone, gets around Dwyer, goes in the middle. Got A.J. Kellen taken out of the play. Lost it, give it off to Ward. Ward lost the puck out to center. It's back in the Ladner Penguin zone. Off Sofakidis up to Kerr. Kerr just lobs it back in the zone to Menard. Got Dano Menard back in the zone. New West Royals on a line change, playing it cautious, shoots the puck up and down the ice. Icing is called by the linesman. Face off back to the New Westminster Royals zone.
The third goal of the game credited to Kelly Jones, and that is his 24th goal of the season. The New Westminster Royals certainly spread the scoring out amongst everyone. Mark Carpin, of course, is their leading goal scorer with 42 goals and 40 assists for 82 points on the season, but they got it spread out right through that lineup. There isn't sort of a line that you can say can't score. They've got a checking line, of course, but they'll still put the puck in the net for you.
They've got good depth on all their lines. Doesn't matter which one they use. They can put them out, and they're all capable of getting points. We had the linesman through one of the centers out. From the faceoff, Proctor won the draw. Proctor gives the puck off to Suivkas. Shoots it in the zone. Goes behind the goal. He's being checked by Sofakidis. Tried to get it out front, couldn't. Lost it. Varhov misplayed the puck. Clearing ice pass in their own zone. Sofakidis taken out of the play. It's up the middle, up to McDonald. McDonald with the puck at center. Turns, falls, lost his balance. Parnetta lost the puck. Goes in the zone. They stay on side. Give it over to Neufeld. Neufeld lost it. Just went in the corner. Mager with the puck. Off the boards. Parnetta takes his man out of the play. Parnetta gives the puck up to McMillan. Shoots it up down the ice. And we've got an icing call by the linesman. Face off back in the Ladner Penguin zone with 17:22 left in the third period of play.
Steve, you and I, of course, do games on another network, shall we say. And at that time, we try and advise people to come on out and watch the home team, the Ladner Penguins in the most instances. But we're here in the New Westminster Queen's Park Arena, and I would think that the fans, if they were watching this game, would be well entertained if they would take the time to come to Queen's Park Arena and support a first-rate organization and see some outstanding hockey. So if you're in this area, why don't you drop out and see one of the great teams of this league, the New Westminster Royals, play.
Jones took a shot wide of the goal. Jones gets it behind the goal. Still with it, stick handling. Tried to get it out. McClellan back at the point. Shoots high, good stop. Goes in the corner. Walsh tried to get it out. Still in the point. Moore tries to keep it in, tried to get out front, couldn't. Intercepted by Jamie Rennie. Jamie Rennie took White out of the play. Puck deflected off linesman Brian Villeneuve. He's still okay though. Come out of the zone. Straight up the middle, up to Blaine Moore. Shoots, he scores! Nice shot. That caught them off guard. Looked like it caught them napping.
Well,
I think the Ladner Penguins tried to go off on a line change, and it wasn't a line change that was read by everybody.
A sloppy line change, and unfortunately, Colville got caught back in the net a little bit. He wasn't coming out to challenge. There you see Blaine Moore's shot, and Colville he wasn't out as far as he'd like to, and I don't think he had the angle in the manner that he wanted to. And there you go. Again, you give a good team an opportunity to come back, and they'll take it, and they'll beat you. Right now, the Ladner Penguins have really got to pick it up. There you see it just low to the glove side, and the goaltender should be able to get that.
Gary Menard shot the puck in. Vermette was taken out of the play heavily by Nichols. Vermette and Nichols push, no harm done. They try and come out of their own zone. They do. Icing's waved off. Gets a stick from the bench. Kerr lost his stick back in his own zone. Taken out heavily. Hawes coming out of his own zone. Gives it off to Nuno Menard. Lost the puck at center. Nichols gets the puck back. Left it for Menard. Goes in. They stay onside. Shoots. Good stop by Colvin. Goes in the corner. Got earned. Fighting for the puck in the corner. Tried to give it to Nichols. Nichols takes his man out of the play. Back at the point to Hawes. Takes a shot. It's intercepted by Kerr. Kerr coming up the center. Got two guys with him. Takes a shot. Off the goalpost. Shoots it up. David Earn coming up the center. Coming to the Ladner Penguin zone. Taken out of the play by Mager. Back at center, just dumped it back in the zone. All the players going off on a wholesale line change. Go back behind the Ladner Penguin zone. Sofakidis with the puck. Oh, lost the puck. Tried to get it out front. Does, gives it off. Hayden takes a shot. Good stop by Colvin. Over top of the goal. Sofakidis takes his man out of the play. They lost it. Looks rather ragged in the Ladner Penguin zone right now. Sofakidis going after it. Lost it back at the point. McDonald keeps the puck in. It's around the referee, Kelly Martin. Got a couple guys pushing and shoving. No harm done. Taken out of the play. It's kept in at the point by Ward. Goes in the corner. Lost it. Got Mager. Shoots it all the way out and down the ice. Caden got Wolf. Coming out to the left side of the goal. Straight up there in front of his own goal. Gives it up the middle, up to Ward. Lost the puck. Give it over to Varhog. Varhog shoots it wide over to Parnetta. Parnetta misplayed it. Goes back behind the boards, off the glass. It's picked up by Hawes. Just shoots it out the center. Picked up by Jamie Rennie. Picked up in the middle. Play a little scrambly right now in the neutral zone. Coming up. Jamie Rennie in the neutral zone. Going in across the New West Royal zone. Takes a shot out front. Shoots off the goal post again. Parnetta just missed putting that in. Back at the point to Jamie Rennie. Keeps it in. Back at the point to Varhog. Shoots. Lost it. Kept into Angus. Angus keeps it in. Turns around. Takes a shot. Good stop by Caden. Caden's getting tested early in the third period here. Kept at the point by Angus. Kept in. Shoots it out and down the ice. Icing's waved off by linesman Brian Villeneuve and Darren Martindale. Go all the way down the ice. Angus comes out of his own goal. Stops. Took a good solid check on the play by Proctor to keep it in the zone. Lost it. Harrington clears it out in the neutral zone. Coming up. Lost it. Give it out to Harrington. Shoots wide of the goal. Take it out of the play. Back out. Keeps it out of the play. Caden stops it. Good action, Keith.
Excellent action. That play down at the Ladner Penguin end where Tasso Sofakaitis gave the puck away reminded me of the old story of Gump Worsley when he was with the New York Rangers. Rangers in the 50s and that early 60s were not a powerhouse team, as most people will know, and asked Gump Worsley what was the toughest team to play against, and his answer was when he was the goaltender for the New York Rangers, he thought the New York Rangers were the toughest team to play against because they were giving the puck up. Or I should say McMillan. There's Harrington right in front, and everybody's falling around after the puck, and the puck off to the side, and Caden managed to kill the play.
Got Carpin coming up out in the neutral zone, up the center. Play goes in, laid off sides, waved off. Coming out of their own zone. Mager just clears it out, gives it off to Parnetta. Left it for Vermette. Vermette coming out of his zone. He gets around Carpin, coming up the center, shoots it all the way out and down in the zone, gives it off to Caden. Off the glass. Taken out of the play, gives it off. White in the corner, left the puck over to Jones. Plays a little ragged right now, trying to get it out. Mager trying to keep it in, but he couldn't. It's away from Justin George, goes all the way back down. Vermette takes the puck behind his own goal. He's being forechecked by Moore. Moore takes him out of the play, high and wide over top of the glass. Shoots it back out, straight out the glass, back all the way down in the neutral zone. Back to Dono Menard, coming out, clears it off the boards. Straight up the middle. We've got Moore up the center. Does a little two-step in front of the goal, takes a shot. Good step by Colvin. Deflects it off behind the goal, off to Jamie Rennie. Jamie Rennie gets the puck, left it off to Harrington. Tried to give it back to Angus. He does. He's being forechecked there on the play by Carpet. Up the middle, up to Justin George. Harrington with him. Walsh with him. Walsh goes in, takes a shot. Good stop by Caden to stop that. Keep it outside. Lost it. Puck bounces loose. Jones gets it. Clears it up the middle. Gives it up to Carpet. Comes in. Crosses the blue line. Tries to pass it in the middle. Lost it. Angus picks the puck up. Shoots it off the boards. Out and down the ice. Goes all the way down. Caden stays back in his own goal. So we got an icing and a face-off back in the Ladner Penguin zone with 12 minutes and 18 seconds left in the third period of play.
Steve, I think Corey Caton has been a little lucky on a couple of those shots. The Ladner Penguins could have just as easily tied it up. As you see, the Royals have come back and now lead 4-3. Mark Carpin, by the way, is the second leading scorer in the Coastal Division and, in fact, in the entire league. Shane Henry of Powell River is now 4 points ahead of Mark with 86 points, and Mark in second place with 42 goals and 40 assists, while Shane Henry has 43 goals and 43 assists.
Got Delon Menard, gets the puck up the center, up to Nichols. Nichols just shoots it in the zone, tried to get it out to Vermette, takes a shot, good stop by Colvin to keep it out. Puck bounces back to him. We've got Haas doing a little bit of forechecking and pushing and shoving in front of the goal.
The Ladner Penguins cannot afford to let the New Westminster Royals get another goal, because I don't think they could come back, Steve, with a two-goal deficit where the Royals are playing. They're throwing their weight around. They're clearing the front of the net, and they're also jamming the front of the offensive net as well as they're clearing the front of their own net. There you see the giveaway right at the blue line. Colville makes a good save with his glove, knocks it down, and then everybody starts to scramble. 12 minutes and 1 second to go. The Penguins trailing the New Westminster Royals by a score of 4-3 on goals by Kelly Jones and Blaine Moore in this third period to come from a 3-2 deficit.
Well, you can't give them an inch. You got to stay on top of them all the time. The New West Royals are a real powerhouse team. You've just got to stay forechecking. They've dropped. They were ahead 3-0. The score now is the New West Royals 4 and the Ladner Penguins 3. The one thing the Ladner Penguins cannot do right now is they cannot get down on themselves. They've got to keep their team motivated to get themselves back in it.
I don't think they have to worry about getting down on themselves. I think the Royals will get down on them if they're not careful.
That's Vermette with the puck. Being checked by Nichols. It's intercepted by Moore. Tries to get it out front. Moore with the puck. Try to get it back at the point. Couldn't. Turns. Circles. Stops. Give it off to Haas. Haas gives it back at the point to Menard. Menard give it back to Haas. Picked up by Wittenberg. Pumps it out the middle. Up the center. Took a good solid check and knocked him down. Got a penalty called against the New West Royals. I think he felt that. Welcome to the league.
Dono Menard threw, that's Derry Menard. Checking was part of this game, and certainly it was a hard check. But I thought it was a clean check.
I think if we watch this when he comes out of the zone, I think he doesn't have possession of the puck
let's see.
That's why he's called for interference.
Right, interference. Okay.
He didn't have possession.
AJ Callum he hits, but
if he had possession, that would have been a solid, good hit. That's the only thing.
It was a solid hit.
Whoa.
It might not have been good, but AJ Callum right now is thinking, I think maybe I'd like to go back to minor hockey. And
they told me prior to the start of the game that he is still a bantam age hockey player.
Yeah,
for a bantam age player, he's sure got lots of talent.
Yeah, he's not out of
that gentleman right there is Gary Johansson, the timekeeper that does the games in the Ladner Arena. Tonight, he's acting as a trainer for the Ladner Penguins.
Of AJ Callum, they're bringing a stretch out here, and let's hope it isn't too serious. Let's watch this again. I think your point is right. I had thought that Callum had it. There you see the break. Here's Derry Menard coming across, and he just puts his shoulder right into AJ Callum. And of course, a bantam player running into probably a 19-year-old player. That's a big difference and a lot of weight. And
we see them bringing the stretcher out.
Let's hope it's not too serious.
Despite the fact that he's level, we hope he's going to be okay.
BC Junior Hockey League All-Star Game right here, January 18th.
With 11 minutes and 33 seconds to go in the third period, the New Westminster Royals are ahead of the Ladner Penguins by a score of 4-3. I'd like to say at this time, Steve, up with us, I know we do things a little differently with the other crew, and I think we had a baptism. I hope we haven't made too many mistakes for the guys in the truck and behind the cameras, because they've certainly been very helpful to us. And there you see AJ Callum. As we say, we hope it's not too serious and that AJ will be back. I don't think he'll be back tonight, but hope that he won't be out too long. And again, there you see all the trainers are on the ice. The trainers from the New Westminster Royals are there as well, and you see the trainer from the Ladner Penguins, and they're just leaving him there. They're talking over, making sure exactly what it is they're going to do. And these trainers are, all of them are very careful. They know what they should do, so that they won't in any way harm the player by moving him. You can see they've told the players what they want them to do. The players have dropped their gloves, and they're going to push him along the ice and just lift him up very carefully. And
well, there you saw.
Yeah.
You see the one trainer, Gary Meredith, for the New West Royals, helping him out. Very knowledgeable man, along with Wayne Hubbard, also
again,
of the New West Royals.
Good to see all of the fans in the audience applauding, and you know, it's everybody sort of cheers the good hits and what have you. But as soon as they get any sense that there's a player injured, that then hold it, let's stop and get back to sort of what the sport is all about.
Get back to reality.
Yeah. But again, I'd like to thank the crew for having us here. I've enjoyed it. We alluded to it earlier that we do the games for the Ladner Penguins at home, and that's on Delta Cablevision. And they asked us if we would come, and thank you very much. I've enjoyed it. Here we'll see the replay again of the hit by Derry Menard. The puck in the Ladner end of the ice, and there you see AJ Callum just rushing to get the puck. And your point was excellent, Steve, that he didn't have control of the puck. I thought he had. He didn't, and was an excellent call by the referee very quickly. He called it and signaled that a penalty was in order, and you were right.
Much to the disgruntled fans, but it was a little bit obvious. And as we said earlier, Kelly Martin's got a lot of experience, so he stayed right on top of it. Angus with the puck, tried to give it up to George, lost it, and we had an offside, quick offside at the blue line.
Well, this is where the Ladner Penguins, there you see John Oliver, the coach of the New Westminster Royals. He's been in this league, and as a matter of fact, he had the record for the most games without a defeat. And then it was taken by Rick Hopper of Powell River. And Rick, of course, is a former New Westminster alumni in their ranks. He was with the Bruins.
But Jamie Rennie with the puck from the Ladner. Coming up the center. To the Walsh up to Harrington. Almost got leveled by Wolf, but Wolf missed his man. Picked up by Jamie Rennie. Jamie Rennie controlling the play right now. Got 10 minutes and 50 seconds left in the third period of play. Jamie Rennie dumps it back in the corner, going after McDonald. Jamie Rennie takes him out of the play. Still against the boards. McDonald's fighting him. Dwyer going after him as well. Shoots it out and down the ice. Ladner Penguins on a power play. And Angus gets the puck behind the goal. Stops. He gets away from Dwyer. A little back pass off his skates, off to Vermette. Vermette lost the puck in the corner. Sukharov took that off him. Vermette coming up the middle, up the blue line, gives it off to Justin George. Justin George got Walsh and Harrington. Justin George going in the middle, goes in. It's taken down by Menard. Shoots it off the glass, tries to get it out. Couldn't. Stopped by Vermette at the point. Vermette clears it over. Takes a shot, deflects wide of the goal. Tipped in by Harrington. Harrington give it off to Walsh. Tried to get it out front. Good stop by Caton on the short side of the goal to keep it out.
There again, there's an example of Justin George. He always seems to know where the puck is, and he's always a difficult player to check because you can knock him down, but he gets back on his feet very, very quickly. Hopefully, we'll be able to find out exactly what AJ Callum's situation is. Maybe if somebody from the truck or somebody, one of the people working behind the scenes, could maybe go down to the dressing room and just ask the trainers if they could give us an update as to how AJ Callum is, so we can tell you before we go off the air. We'll try and do that for you.
McClellan takes the puck in the corner, being checked by Wittenberg. McClellan with the puck still, goes behind his own goal. Give it off to Menard. Menard shoots it out and all the way down. We get 9 minutes and 50 seconds. Shaw right on goal. Colvin stops that rather cautiously. Coming out for Vermette. Give the puck off. Over to Chuck Netta. Chuck Netta gets the puck back out in the neutral zone. Up the center. He's got Wittenberg with him. Stopped by Menard. Nobody knows where the puck is. Chuck Netta just dumps it back in. Wittenberg going after it. Stopped by Caden. Goes off the glass. Picked up by McClellan. McClellan lost the puck. Bad pass in front of the goal. Give it off to McMillan. Takes a shot wide of the goal. It's all the way out back down the center. Vermette just lobs it back in the New West Royal zone. Picked up by Menard. Gives it over here, over to McClellan. McClellan coming out of his own zone. Gives it up to Proctor. Proctor just shoots it in the zone, out the middle. Up to Wittenberg. Wittenberg tried to give it up to Kerr. He does. Misplayed it. Lost. It's kept in at the point by McMillan. Lost in front of the goal. It's intercepted by Jones. Jones turns, takes a check. McClellan just clears it out to center. Picked up by Sofakidis for the Ladner Penguins. Going back behind his goal. He's being forechecked by Carpin. Sofakidis comes straight up the middle. Up to Justin George. Good play on his skate to keep the possession of the puck there. Just shoots it in. Gives it off to Harrington. Harrington going after the puck, being checked by McDonald. McDonald takes him out of the play. Wolf going after the puck. Still loose. Referee says move the puck. Keep going, boys. Caden comes out, clears it off the boards. Gives it up the middle. Moore coming up. Goes in. Got Carpin with him. Lost the puck. Walsh coming out of his own zone. Play a little bit ragged right now in the Ladner Penguin zone. It's inside the zone. Carpin tried to take his man out. Couldn't. Offside was waved off. Jones goes in. Shoots and scores! That was a miscommunication by the Ladner Penguins trying to clear the puck out of their own zone.
Colville's legs. So I would think that with the way the game is going, that the Ladner Penguins are going to have their work cut out for them. There you see the puck at the blue line. Jason Mager leaves the puck, and then he gets run around like a hoop around a barrel. Kelly Jones beats it. Colville with Tasso Sofakaitis diving to try and stop that. But I think that's a bit of a poor goal from the Ladner point of view.
But they all count. But Parnetta coming up.
7:50. There you see that. There's Mager just leaving the puck, and there's Kelly Jones getting around him, and now Sofakaitis sliding in front of the net, and maybe he in some way distracted Colville, but I thought that could have been saved, Steve. I didn't think that was what I would call an outstanding goal, but they all count.
That's what you call a late Christmas present.
Yes, you would call it that. That's Kelly Jones's second goal of the evening and his 25th goal of the season for the New Westminster Royals. And the score now 5-3 in favor of the Royals. And for you people who live in this area, as we say, we'd like to suggest you come out and watch this team. The New Westminster Royals are probably one of the finest teams at this age bracket you're going to find. Just to give you an understanding of what they've done, up to today's date, they've won 32 games, lost 1, and tied 1. That's phenomenal for any team to go like that. Because this is a very competitive league. These players, a lot of these players, as we say, I've alluded to earlier in the proposed pre-game show, have gone on to colleges in the U.S., or in fact, I think there's 32 of them who've in fact gone into the NHL.
The face-off goes all the way back down in the Ladner Penguin zone. Colvin coming out of his goal, stops it, leaves it for Jamie Rennie. Jamie Rennie taken out of the play by Nichols. It's intercepted there at the point by Hawes. Keeps it in, shoots it in the boards. Play, a couple guys coming and pushing and shoving. Play a little ragged, still behind the goal. It's kept in. Back at the point, Moore, give it back at Menard. Took a shot, good stop. And we've got a whistle and a penalty being indicated by the referee to the Ladner Penguins.
If we've got a replay of that, we'll watch number 24 if we do. I'm not sure that we do. Number 24 for the Ladner Penguins, Shane Danby, who's in fact getting the penalty, diving in front of the shot. And you can tell how things have changed because they in fact, in the old days, the players used to, when they dropped in front of the puck like that, they used to keep their face away from the shot. And in fact, Shane Stanby, when he fell down in front of it, he put his face in front of the shot. Now watch this. The puck will come back to the point. Now here comes Stanby. And there he is with his face in towards where the shot is going. In the old days, when they didn't wear masks, they would in fact fall away from it so that their face, which was the only unprotected part of their body supposedly, was out of the line of the shot. But
the glass.
That was an art that I remember years ago. Bobby Hull, who most people think probably had one of the hardest shots of all time coming across, and I think it was Bill Red Eye Hay who dropped in front of one of his slap shots, and Bobby Hull's eyes popped out of his head because nobody had done that. But Hay had it down to such an art that he would just sort of roll the puck along his body. I don't quite know how he did it, but he dropped in front of anybody's shot, and it was a phenomenal art.
Colin Ward lost the puck in the corner. Lost it, give it off to Hayden, goes out front. Good stop by Colvin to keep it out. Shoves it all the way out and down the ice. Ladner Penguins killing the penalty right now. Goes all the way back to Caden. Caden gives it up the middle. Give it off to Dwyer. Dwyer lost the puck to Menard. Menard turns, stops, circles behind his own goal, being forechecked by Justin George. Dwyer up the middle. Hayden going up inside the zone. Goes in, gets around him. Hayden goes in, misplayed it, back in the corner to Dwyer. Dwyer stops, looks, gets his man all set up. Taken out of the play by Vernet. Vernet took him out of the play. Still in the corner. Jason Mager trying to get a whistle. Referee keeps saying, move the puck, boys. I'm not going to blow it on you. Hayden gets the puck. Back at the point. Back to Menard. Menard. Back to Hayden. Takes it in the corner. Tried to get it out front. Coleman goes down. Stops it. Kept that out.
Again, there's an example. Jason Mager dropping in front of the shot, Steve, and he falls in with his face in the direction that the shot is going. And I think that's one of the hazards. These guys are wearing masks. They think they can't get hurt. But, I mean, if they get it in the jaw, watch him again. There he goes to where the shot is going. In the old days, their face was always, it's amazing. Talking about A.J. Callum, we're sorry to report that, in fact, there is an ambulance here. So I would imagine that he is going to the Royal Columbian Hospital, and hopefully it will not be a serious injury, but just a look-see to make sure he's all right. But we can tell you that he is being taken to the hospital.
We've got White.
Jason White along
Taking
the
after
boards.
Parnetta on the corner down there. Cooler heads prevail, though. Parnetta doesn't want to get a foolish penalty at this stage of the game.
Well, they're down by 2, and if he can sort of do when you're opposing Garth Butcher, it's annoying, but the Vancouver Canuck fans love to watch Garth Butcher. He did it last night where he is able to basically antagonize somebody into taking a penalty, and if the Penguins can get a goal on this power play, that would put them right back in the game. So let's see what can happen here with 5 minutes and 48 seconds to go.
Good stand-up goaltending. There's been a couple of fluky goals, but they all count. From the face-off, McMillan coming in, gets clear of everybody. George going after the puck, lost it. Give it after McMillan. McMillan misplayed the puck. McClellan for the Royals. Gives it up the middle, up to Carpin, goes in. Gives it off to Sukharov, takes it in the corner. Straight up the middle, up to McMillan, up to Justin George, going in. Back to McMillan, goes. Takes a feeble shot, right on Caden. Played that one real easy, coming out. Hayden. Sukharov gives it over to Neufeld, goes in. A little wide of the goal. Sukharov in the corner. Give it off to Neufeld. Neufeld tried to pass it out the middle, it couldn't, gets it back. Neufeld almost got that and got a second chance at it. Back at the point, over to McClellan. Lost it, goes all the way back out and down in the neutral zone. Back to Wolf. New West Royals killing a penalty. Shoots it all the way out and down the ice. Icing is waved off by linesman Brian Villeneuve. We've got 4 minutes and 50 seconds left in the third period of play. Mager, give the puck up. Straight up the middle, up to Harrington. In, crosses the blue line, trying to get it to Walsh. Couldn't. Intercepted by Menard. Feeble pass. Menard goes after it. Menard staying on Harrington. Getting the puck. Tried to clear it out. Couldn't. Intercepted by Walsh. Gets it out the middle. Gives it off to Carpin. Carpin lost the puck. Give it over to George. George gets the puck along the corner. Gets it out in the neutral zone. Just dumped back in. Icing's waved off. And we've got an offside pass called as Carpin was over the center line before the puck. So we've got what we call an offside pass. A lot of people at home would call a two-line pass.
You know, Steve, I don't know that the younger fans who are watching this won't remember this gentleman, but Justin George reminds me of a player, center for the New York Rangers in the old 6-team league. I think he wore number 21. I'm not sure. Camille Henry. And you could never hit him. He was just a little guy, but they just couldn't get a hold of him. There you see the New Westminster Royals, I should say, sorry, New Westminster Bruins. New Westminster Royals in first place, then followed by Nanaimo. Powell River, fourth place, Ladner, then Richmond, and bringing up the end of the league at this point is Cowichan. That's the Coastal Division, ladies and gentlemen.
Puck's back with Jamie Rennie. Jamie Rennie at the middle. He just dumps it in the corner. He took a check from Gary Menard. Off the glass. Tried to get it out. Stopped by Jamie Rennie. Intercepted by Hayden. Hayden coming up the middle. Goes in. Tries to pass it out front. Does. Gives it off to Jones. Jones just missed it. Intercepted in front of the goal by Kerr. Kerr coming straight up the middle. Comes up. He's got Walsh with him. Stays on side. Walsh with the puck. Takes a shot. Good stop by Caden to keep that one out. Goes behind the goal. McDonald playing rather cautious. He's being forechecked by McMillan. Coming up. Gives it up to Jones. Jones goes up. Stays on side. David Earn back at the point. Tried to get it back to Nickel. Nickel takes a feeble shot wide of the goal. Intercepted by Vermette. Vermette coming up the middle. Straight up the middle. White going after it in his own zone. 3 minutes and 30 seconds left in the third period. Gives it off over to Nano Menard. Up the middle, stopped by Kerr. Kerr took his man out of the play, picked up by Walsh, gets around Menard, goes in, just a little wide of the goal. White going after it. White taking McMillan in the corner out of the play. Kerr going in, forechecking along with Nichols. No harm done. We've got a delayed penalty indicated to the Ladner Penguins. We've got David Ern coming up. And a penalty being called by referee Kelly Martin. And I believe from the signal he gave, it's a spearing penalty.
He's getting Dale Walsh. Is he saying it's a,
I believe.
Is he giving a double minor?
I think it's a double minor for spearing.
Well, that's
4 minutes for spearing.
Yeah, 4 minutes.
There you hear.
Spearing. And there's 3 minutes and 5 seconds to go in this game, so Mr. Walsh will not be reappearing on the ice surface unless they score 2 quick goals.
Very, very foolish penalty to take at this stage of the game.
I would have to say that in sports terminology, the fat lady is she's singing. Don't like to end a game any earlier than we have to, but with 3 minutes and 5 seconds to go, you're a man down, you're 2 goals down. The New Westminster Royals, the best team in the league. I would have to say that the Ladner Penguins have really got their work cut out for them. We've got a score of 5-3. The Penguins were ahead 3-2 going into this period, but Kelly Jones, then Blaine Moore, and Kelly Jones again with his second of the game made it 5-3.
David Ern with the puck. Give it off to Menard. Menard give it back into Ern. Lost it. Menard at the puck gives it back to Ern. He gets around Mager, tries to pass it out front to shoot. They score! Nice pass and play. Pause, put that one straight in.
Yeah, that
had no chance on that at all. Good pass and play. Now that's a costly penalty.
the only hope that Dale Walsh has to get another goal and he'll be able to get back on the ice, but I'm only being facetious when I say that because the Penguins don't want that to happen at all. But 6-3, the fans are starting to leave. I would have to say that the Ladner Penguins unfortunately came up a little short. They looked well in control of their own destiny for about the first period and a half, Steve, and then the New Westminster Royals came on, and in this third period have taken the game right away from the Ladner Penguins, and they look like they're on their way to their 33rd victory of the season in 35 games.
Got Andrew Wolf with the puck. Give it over to McClellan. McClellan with the puck to Wolf. Wolf just after, takes his man out of the play. Tries to get it back at the point. Wolf pickles out front, gives over to Parnetta. Parnetta just shoots it out and down the ice, all the way back down to Caden. We've got 2 minutes and 15 seconds left in the third period of play. Score, New West Royals 6, the Ladner Penguins 3. Got Hayden coming up the middle. Good stop by Colvin. Gets it back, takes a second chance, clears it, a third chance. Gets well inside of the goal, a little wide. Shoots it out and down off the boards, going out. New West Royals going off on a line change. It's back at the point, all the way back down. Wolf going back. Wolf going back down behind his own goal. Coming out. Gives it off to Carpin. Carpin goes in. Gives it off to McClellan. Takes the shot. Good stop. Second chance. Gets. Good stop. Kept in the zone there by Wolf. Wolf gives it back at the point to Jones. Jones tries to get a good chance. Does it. Intercepted by McMillan. McMillan tries to clear it out. Managed to keep it in. Wolf got it at the point. Being checked by Wittenberg. Back over to Hayden. Intercepted. And it's shot all the way out and down the ice right on Caden. Out, stops it, plays it cautious. Wolf clears it out in the neutral zone. Shoots it up to Moore. Moore tries to get it out. Still in the neutral zone. It's intercepted by Parnetta. Parnetta comes up, clears center, shoots it all the way back down in the corner. Off the boards. He's got McDonald behind his own goal. Coming out, straight up the middle. Rink wide, gives it over the blue line. A good solid shot and a good stop by Colvin to keep that one out. Give and go play there by the Royals. Colvin made a beautiful stop to keep that one out. I don't know how he managed to keep that one out, but he did. We've got less than a minute of play in the third period. 57 seconds left. Score, the New West Royals 6, the Ladner Penguins 3. Well, as we alluded to, pardon me, on the New West Royals, they're just such a hot team. They know when to go and when to advance. It's kept in the zone. Menard tries to shoot at the corner, doesn't. Donald gives it off there over to Neufeld. Goes in, tries to get around his man, couldn't. Being taken out of the play by Jason Mager. Mager stays with him. Works it. Proctor going to the corner after it, fighting for it. Trying to Proctor looks. He's got a man coming in. McDonald coming in from the point. Couldn't get it to him. Stopped. Sukharov knocks it down with his glove. Intercepted. Proctor gets the puck. Picked up by Parnetta. Parnetta tries to clear it out of his zone. Couldn't. Managed to finally. Shoots it all the way out and down up to McDonald. McDonald back in his own zone. Coming up. Plays it cautious. They stay on side. Just shoots it in the corner. Jamie Rennie going back after it. Rennie being checked by Neufeld. Neufeld takes him out of the corner and takes him out of the play. Picked up by Proctor. Tried to pass it out front. Couldn't. Jamie Rennie picks the puck up coming out. And the buzzer goes to end the third period of play.
Well, the New Westminster Royals won the 33rd game of the season in 35 starts. That gives them 67 points. Steve, I felt that the Ladner Penguins for the first period and a half were well into the game. But after that, at about the 10-minute mark, the New Westminster Royals took it over and, in fact, just owned the game. The first goal was scored to tie it up, as a matter of fact, in that third period at 22 seconds by Kelly Jones. Then Blaine Moore came back at 3:18 and got his 32nd of the season, followed by Kelly Jones, who got his 25th at 7:54. And then Mike Haas at the end of the third period, and I believe that came at about 18:32, I think it was. I'm not quite sure of the time on that goal. He got his 15th, and that was the 6-3 victory for the New Westminster Royals. They're selecting their stars of the game. I don't think we're going to agree with their stars, but I felt that Kelly Jones, with his work, he got 2 goals, and he got them when they needed them, certainly was the outstanding player as far as I was concerned from the New Westminster Royal point of view.
Kelly Jones was forechecking all night. He never let up. He was a real main clog in the wheel tonight. He was forechecking. He was back-checking. His passes were really, think from our point of view up here, there was another player out there that was doing more than him.
No, I don't think so. I felt that he played a complete game. Credit for the victory, and he made some very nice saves, but he did let in a couple of goals that I thought normally he would have saved. And I felt that Derry Menard handed out that booming body check, and Donald Menard, when they were on defense, they were very aggressive. But I felt that overall, the player, as you say, going both ways was in fact Kelly Jones. We've got a highlight of Kelly Jones's first goal with an assist coming from Mark Carpin, and you see the puck in behind the net, the scramble around the front, and this is where I think the Penguins are running into a bit of problem. Back to the point, back, and there's the shift, and here's Jones to Carpin, Carpin back, and Kelly Jones deflects it in. But the thing I noticed there was, in fact, that the Penguins at that point, Steve, instead of body checking or taking the man out of the play, they started to fish for the puck, and I felt that from about the 10-minute mark in the second period where things changed for the Ladner Penguins. They were hitting and clogging the front of the net, and then they started to reach instead of hit. Now we've got Blaine Moore, his 32nd goal of the season, and there you see the puck back to the New Westminster Royals defensive zone, shot up to Blaine Moore at the blue line. He takes a shot low to the glove side, and usually Colville will get that shot. It's you know, low to the glove side, high to the stick side sort of thing. It's tough for a goaltender, but that wasn't that hard a shot, and I think Colville could have got it just by shifting over.
No, that's like we discussed in the first period. That shot could have either taken a rise or it could have a little bit of a flipper shot. It's hard to say. I mean, we're not goalies, and we don't want to second guess the goaltenders. I wouldn't play goal at all.
We're supposed to be the experts up here. We can tell what's going on. No, and when we point these things out, it's not to be critical of the goaltender and say or a player is not doing it, but it's usually Colville does make those saves. He's an excellent goaltender, and he stands up well. He challenges the shooter, but just on that shot, I thought on a couple of them, and I think maybe it's because of the Christmas break, Steve, that in fact he and even Corey Caden on occasion were not as quick with their feet as they had been in other games we've seen them play. Here's the next goal. This is where Jason Mager gets beat. Tasso Safakaitis trying to come along and stop Kelly Jones from getting his 25th goal of this between the defensemen.
They didn't read the play well coming out of their own zone. They tried to set it up. I think they got the communications backwards, and it led to a bad pass, and they just picked it up and committed them one time at home.
And that's one thing you can't do with the New Westminster Royals. You can't make that bad communication. Again, this is where we see the Royals sort of making the Ladner around and turn their backs, and there you see Mike Hawes coming in from the point again, a little bit out there about the face-off circle. The defensemen have all got their backs turned and nobody can see him, and that's one of the things I'm noticing that a lot of the defensemen now are not aware of. Even in the NHL you'll see where players, in fact, well, there's somebody behind the net. Gretzky has made everybody so aware of what you can do from behind the net. Everybody is now forgetting that, hey, that puck can come out forward, and if I've got my back turned, there's nothing I can do. We've got the hit, the body check by Derry Menard on A.J. Callum. And this is where, again, Steve, you were pointed out very correctly, Callum didn't have control of the puck. This is interference. Tremendous body check. One more step by A.J. Callum, and he has control, and it's a legal check. But Derry got there a little early.
That's right. And I must say that that is an absolute correct call by the referee, Kelly Martin, on that. And it's nice to notice that not so much that Kelly caught it, but it's nice to notice, because we can emphasize to the younger referees in the crowd of what actually is interference. If the person has possession of the puck, you cannot get called for an interference penalty.
Well, Steve, I enjoyed doing this evening's game, and that's an example of the fine camera work and the technical work that goes in behind the scenes to make it go as well as it possibly can. We hope that we did a job that was satisfactory to all the viewers, and I certainly enjoyed being here. How about yourself?
I enjoyed it thoroughly. I was quite surprised we were called to do it, but I enjoyed it. We normally do the Ladner Penguins home games. On myself, I really enjoyed it. I'm glad that Paul called us. Special thanks to him and the camera crew for making us two look exceptionally well tonight.
Well as we can look. I wouldn't say so. Enjoyed being here from the Queen's Park Arena. You saw the Ladner Penguins visiting the New Westminster Royals, and the New Westminster Royals came home the victor with a 6-3 score. For Steve Erickson, this is Keith Frew and Western 4 Sports saying good night, and hopefully we'll see you soon.
And a Happy New Year.